Electric Cafe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today is day number 29 in my month-long focus of May on the subgenres including electronic and rock music like indie rock and shoegaze and synth pop and things like that. So we're getting down to the last couple days of the month. I have 3 videos left. I'm a little bit behind. Today's the 5th of June and I was hoping to be done with this focus month by end of the May, but it's had some other things going on, so I'm a couple days behind. But if there's anything that you'd like me to review coming up in June and July, I'm pretty open right now as far as plans on what I'm going to go into. I don't know if I'm going to go into another list or another focus month or just some loose albums here and there. I know I need to review Charles Urban's album, which he sent me, which is the 5-disc ambient box set that came out in 2023. I'm also going to review the 2 Sabres of Paradise reissues that were announced recently on the pre-sale. So Andrew Weatherall and Sabres of Paradise, both their 1993 album. Was it Supersonic, Sabersonic, and then 94 their album called Haunted Dance Hall. And so yeah, I'm going to review those. But so if there's something that you'd like me to review, whether it be a song or an album, my email is down below. Just shoot me a email, and I'll be curious to know what you might be interested in suggesting for me to review. Otherwise, I'll probably do some loose albums and then figure out what my next project is on reviewing. So today's album review is on Specimen's 1983 release called Batastrophe. It's a tongue twister almost. Batastrophe, okay. I thought for some reason it was called Batastrophe, but that doesn't make sense. Batastrophe, which is pretty much named after the club in Soho in London in 1982. It was a fairly famous goth club, and these guys formed in 1981 in Bristol, UK, and then moved to London in 1982, and were pretty much synonymous with the Batcave and their style of music. It was almost similar to like the New Romantic scene, but just more around goth rock. And these were one of the first goth rock bands, if I'm not mistaken. I first got this cassette back in 1983. I was given it from a friend, and I still have it. And it's been a while since I listened to it. Occasionally I'll get a chance to check on it, but I thought it'd be a perfect album to review for this focus month, since I'm doing a little bit more rock-based music that not necessarily influenced with electronic music, but sometimes with goth rock and Darkwave and things like that. It's almost like an extension of electronic music in some ways, just because of maybe the atmosphere and maybe the ties to glam rock and things like that, and just the early disco sound and just kind of that late 70s kind of CBGB sounds that kind of mix punk and a little bit more of theatrical style. Probably influenced a lot by Rocky Horror Picture Show, which when you look at their pictures and stuff like that, they were probably looking more like dramatic than trying to look more goth, and it just happened to turn into sort of a goth rock sound because of how they dressed. But probably in these days, it was done more so as probably an anti-culture and sort of extension of maybe the rebelliousness in glam rock and punk, and sort of mixing it in the sort of theatrical. And obviously with the as horror movies got more popular in the late 70s and early 80s, you also have that sort of horror style. Even the artwork and the lettering and stuff like that, everything's kind of a little bit more goth rock, but also influenced by a lot of movies and things like that, killer slasher movies, etc. But yeah, we're gonna play the whole Specimen album here. There's only 6 songs in 23 minutes, so I might as well play the whole song. You'll see my review above each, and then I'll get back to you at the end with my thoughts and my overall score on the album. All right, so let's check out Specimen's only album from 1983.
covered, we're so tight. Turn back, burn black, turnstile. Is this what you want? Looking back through your sack, and you let around a rack. Do you feel dark? And a mask and a cast, so on the other chance. I can do nothing to miss you. Shut down to glass. Easing me gently out of the skin. Oh, these are times of our lives. The beauty poison. Shut down to glass. Easing me gently out of the skin. Oh, these are times of our lives. This is the beauty poison. The beauty poison. The beauty of poison. The beauty of poison. Peasants gather round. and inside the breach comes with the peace. Is it peace of mind you want? Hear this, kiss! Bang bang. Kiss kiss bang bang. Kiss kiss bang bang. Kiss this and hang. Kiss kiss bang bang. Kiss kiss bang bang. Kiss this and hang. I know your wild's out, so wild you curse the common weather. All your friends talk about the weather. I know you play to win and win to play with poison advances. Scar, games of death, taking chances. Sex, you, suicide, be my pride. Trash, car crash. Oh, it's the guys. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Voices creaking, smooth and velvet, drenched in dreams and walk away. Catch my breath and crush my senses, feed desire and serenade. put a spell on me. Dreams and things, dreams and sins. I wonder will he tell on me? And I asked him, and then within this legendary beast of pleasure. Telltale signs of happy ending. Delay foresight. Tell this moment. But now the time is here. But now the time is here. Did he really tell me? And I can break the spell. Could he walk water? Soda! I'm martyrs and martyrized. And after this, what can to corner? Telltale signs and happy endings. Delay foresight. Tell this moment. But now the time is here. But now the time is here. Looked down and frowned, but hung up and clean. Oh, gone down the dream. Telltale signs and happy ending. Delay foresight. Tell this moment. Now the time is here. But now the time is here. Telltale signs and happy ending. Delay foresight. Tell this moment. But now the time is here. But now the time is here. We're good as lovers, oasis in grey. You know that we need some heart. What did you say? Lovers, lovers, lovers of that time. Lovers, lovers, lovers of change. You know that we need to. You know that we care. But your contribution is fragile and rare. And it so bad? Lovers, lovers, lovers of the dead time. Lovers, lovers, lovers of the night. Lovers, lovers, lovers of the dead time. Lovers, lovers, lovers of the lovers, 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 lovers of the night. Lovers, 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 lovers of the
Alright, so there you got a chance to check out each track from Batastrophe by Specimen from 1983. It's interesting when you listen back to an album. It's been a couple years since I heard this album. You know, a band like this, especially in retrospect, that didn't have necessarily a storied career or a long career. This was pretty much their only album. I think they had maybe like 2 singles and sort of a reunion concert, maybe a couple reunion concerts in the early 2000s. But as far as I know, that was pretty much it. But when you hear a band like this, you're gonna compare them to so many people, and in a strange way, it's kind of warranted and kind of interesting to do, and I'll probably do that a lot when I talk about some of these songs because they sound a lot like other bands. I would probably say this is kind of a mix of goth rock and sort of more of a glam rock, really. Because of their makeup and everything like that, and obviously it's in the font, maybe even the name Specimen. It is kind of more of a goth visual, but when you listen to the song, it's actually it's a lot of fun. The music is a lot of fun, and it kind of reminds me more of like glam than really death rock or goth rock. Like it reminds me a little bit more of Gene Loves Jezebel, more, but maybe even a little bit more fun. There's only 6 tracks on here, and you saw my score on each track. The first track, Beauty of Poison. The lead singer sounds a lot like Adam and the Ants. Adam Ant. I like the riff in it. It's kind of dramatic, has some flair, kind of more of a rock and roll sound almost and it almost feels like they're sort of doing like a shtick in a way, and sort of having such a fun with it, and maybe in a Rocky Horror Picture way, they're sort of making fun of the seriousness of rock and roll and sort of putting on makeup and making it a theatrical show and just having some fun with it, and also kind of laughing at themselves for not only how they look, but having some fun with it, but doing it in a cool way. But even in the music, sort of making it, I wouldn't say junky, but they're just having some fun with it. But when you actually listen to it, there's a lot of solid guitar riffs in here, some decent singing for sure. I really like his voice, actually. It reminds me of a couple different people. The first couple tracks, his vocal style and the way he pronounces and accentuates words, very English, but it sounds very Adam Ant, or also the lead singer of Midnight Oil earlier in his career, Peter Garrett, especially in tracks 2, Syria, and then also 5, Telltale. Sounds a lot like Peter Garrett. And then you have track 3 called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is definitely bass heavy, which is very cool on this one. Probably the most goth sounding song on here. It sounds a little bit like Ross from Christian Death. Maybe the bass line heavy sounds like a little bit more like Bauhaus. But really, really a cool song, and one of my favorites on the album. And then, unfortunately, not my least favorite. The Syria is actually my least favorite, track number 2. 4, Returning from a Journey. Really cool riff on this one. The chorus I'm not really fond of, and I think it kind of hurts the song for me, but otherwise it's pretty cool. I like the chorus and the bridges and the changes. Just not really fond of the chorus. It kind of reminds me of like the Romantics, and I never really liked the Romantics back in those early 80s, late 70s kind of new wave sound that they did. I wasn't really a fan of that, although Romantics was one of the first records I ever had. But, I didn't really necessarily like them. Track number 5, Telltale. I think it's probably the most complete song on this album. Again, I like the changes in the bridge on this one. I think it's the most complete and well-rounded. And, at 3 minutes and 44 seconds, it's not too long, not too short, and it's nice and solid and works really well and flows really well. And I really like the vocals again, too. I give that track 7 stars. It's my favorite song on the album. And then it completes with the last track called Lovers, which is a solid song to end. Kind of the shortest one, just right at 3 minutes. Not necessarily anything very good on that, but not really anything that's below average on there for this album. Everything in the album is pretty fairly strong. I mean, it's enjoyable, fun, goth rock and Deathrock. I think it's really cool. And it's funny to listen to this album so many years later one of the first times in a couple years for sure that I've heard this. But only 6 songs on this album, 23 minutes. I can't really necessarily give it any additional points for being as a full album, any stronger than what the songs really average out to. And they average out to a 6.41 per song, so it's a 64 out of 100. So I give it a 64. I think it's right in between good and very good. Maybe if there's a couple more songs, maybe if there's a couple more bigger songs on here, like maybe a little bit more depth, you could probably get into the maybe me saying it was a very good album, but still it's an enjoyable album. And I think if you're into death rock, you're into the history of glam rock especially, and early death rock, I would say definitely check out this album. Obviously hopefully you just heard the tracks and you checked it out and see what you think. But yeah, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are of this. My favorite 3 tracks were Telltale, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Returning from a Journey. Those are my 3 favorites. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on this album, just post them below. I'd be curious to know what your thoughts are and what your favorite 3 songs on. All right, so let's go on to day number 30 in my month-long focus month. All right, take care and thanks for the support.
Coldwave.